Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
So there we go. And we will, we'll do this a little out of order.
Okay.
So that is it Robert or Bob?
I go by Bob,
Both.
Okay,
but I'll answer it anything as long as it's not too derogatory.
I understand. All right, so what we're gonna have you do, this is really out of order, and it'll all make sense to you, Janet, afterwards. But if you can back up a little bit from the camera so that we can see you, who wants to push who over?
Well, I think she should push me over because I'm a pushover anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay,
try-
who
we'll try
are we
pushing-
gonna, let's change it and say, who are we gonna put the patch on?
So is that the person getting pushed over, getting the patch?
Yep,
That'll be me.
That'll be you.
I mean, me.
okay,
It should be on your dominant arm. You got the
right, wait, don't put it on yet, don't put it on
No, I
yet.
won't. I won't.
Okay, so right now we're seeing the
Right
kitchen
over here.
chair and Janet's tummy.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about over here more? Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
All right.
perfect. So I want you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart
Okay.
and your arms at your sides. And I don't want you to bend your elbow. So Janet, you're gonna go alongside of him, doesn't matter which side.
Yeah.
No, go right to his side, right beside him. Okay, you're going to, he's going to make a fist with that one arm, and you're going to lift straight up with that, on that arm. He's not going to bend his elbow. And Bob, you're going to resist
Okay.
that. Okay, so if
Okay.
you need to use two hands, Janet, you can. And you're
Right.
going to, like, let me back up for a minute here so I can see if you can
Yeah.
see what I
Yeah.
mean.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of space to back up. So
Yeah.
you're going to, you're going to take your hands and lift straight up on his arm. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to resist that. Now what we will see, what happens. Okay, so lift up.
I am.
Way too strong. You can't move him, huh?
Strong and heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just keep in your mind what that did. Very often, it could be because you're also more in front of him than, try it on the other side, Janet.
Okay.
It's just there's a table there, right? So that makes it a little different. Now you can knock him into the wall. So
There you
keep
go.
the arm straight and don't bend your elbow, but there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so he tipped over. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now I want you to put your feet together
Mm-hmm.
and stack your fists one on top of each other like this. And this time, Janet, you're gonna come, maybe turn sideways so we can see.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bob, so if you turn sideways to us. Yep, okay, so now Janet, this time you're gonna press down on his fists and he's gonna resist up. Okay, so everybody sees that he's tipping forward a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now the last one, you go back to feet, face us again. And you're going to go back to feet shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I want you to cross your arms like this, and I want you to twist as far as you can in each direction and mark with your eyes how far you can go.
Okay.
Okay, now Janet, go grab that patch. Don't move, Bob, because if you move your feet, then your
Okay.
points of reference are gonna move.
Okay, you took them out. Grab the patch.
Check it out.
Grab the patch.
It goes on your thumb right
It
here.
goes on the inside of your dominant arm, and it doesn't look like you're super hairy, so this should be good.
That
Yeah,
inside.
we should show you my back.
That's for a different day. That's not for today.
Right there.
Yep.
Enter there.
Okay.
It
Like
should go
anti,
down from the crease of the elbow.
yeah, anti-cubital. Right there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right, so now do that twist again, like you did last summer.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, further, same,
It seemed like.
a little further. That doesn't shock me. Okay, so look at, he's already ready for the next one. Feet together though, Bob.
Okay.
And if you turn sideways again, then Janet's going to see if
First time.
she hits you. All right, this is where we see how strong Janet is.
Isn't that
Janet, was that harder?
Yeah, it seemed harder. He wasn't moving either.
And he didn't move. Right.
Huh.
Okay. So
But you-
now we go back to, you want to, I think he wants you to do it again.
Okay, good.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You came forward.
Yeah, I did
A little bit that time.
I
he did.
cheated, I cheated the first time. I went forward because I knew that's what you're looking for.
Oh.
Without the patch.
Cheater.
I
All
know.
right.
I
Yeah,
know.
we gotta make sure that those fists are up at chest height though. You're a little low. There we go.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
here.
All right.
There.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Oh.
She's strong. though.
Strong. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go the sideways one with the arm.
Okay.
Okay, and arm straight, make a fist, keep the arm, don't bend the arm,
Right.
right at your side.
I'm good. My feet aren't that strong.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Yes. Sure.
How do you feel differently, Bob?
A little, maybe not too much, but
Did you notice it was more difficult for her to move you?
maybe slightly.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So that's the demo that we normally do
All right.
like in the middle of this presentation, but Bob, you can go back to work now.
Good, yeah, quick work.
Am I lose my balance going down the stairs now? No.
Better not trip. Oh,
Yeah, don't,
Go into the basement.
Yeah.
It's supposed to make you.
I
wait
was,
up.
I was excited about going down the stairs faster today and I said to somebody, I went faster and I didn't like roll.
Oh, that's good.
Get my pen.
That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go ahead and start since it's
All right.
1:08. So welcome.
you, Beth.
everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Bob. All right, Cheryl, you're up.
Yep, Cheryl, you can read the rules.
All right, this not very much because we kind of know the drill.
Exactly.
Don't interrupt the speaker, mute your microphones, only unmute if you have a question or comment. And please respect the speaker. So I don't know how she likes to work it out as far as people asking questions, but please mute until it's time to ask your question.
Very good. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
Sounds good. All right.
So welcome, Beth, to our group. And you can, I know we connected on Alignable and you work for Voxxlife. So you can go ahead and share what you do to the group and take it away.
Take it away. All righty. Well, I know there's a way to do this that you can see me and I haven't learned how to do that yet. That's a special Zoom trick I'm working on. I haven't got it there yet. Though. So neuro-haptics is what we do. It's what it's called. And that's essentially just affecting the brain through touch. My first question is, does a healthy body need a healthy brain? I see everybody nodding. Absolutely. If you agree that a healthy body needs a healthy brain and that it doesn't always have to be arrived at via scalpels and medicine or invasive technologies, then you're in the right place. I need to do this way because if I do it as a slideshow, then things slide the way they're supposed to. There we go. All right. So I want you to think of a very busy highway at rush hour. Okay. Oops. I did it backwards. There's my very busy highway. And then I want you to think of your favorite, most calm place in the world. So this is my boat on Lake Boca in Boca Raton, Florida. The first year that we took it out. And it's calm and it's quiet and it's blue and it's wonderful. On the right-hand side, this is the 401 in a traffic jam where it's nasty. This side with the 401 is where your brain is most of the time. How many of you would like to get it to that nice place? Who's going to say no, right? So, Dr. Mark DeBrincat is a doctor of chiropractic. He is specializing in neurological things. So he does a lot of what they call QEEG brain mapping, which is more than just the regular EEG. Regular EEG uses 9 leads, QEEG uses 19. So they can see what's functioning well and what's not functioning well. I had one done and it's fascinating. Dr. Mark DeBrincat had a patient who said to him one day, "Hey doc, I've got brain socks for you. I want you to test them." And he laughed. And the next appointment, the patient said, "So, did you try them?" And he said, "Well, no, it's not really on my priority list." And it took a while before he finally said, okay. They're socks. I'm going to show you that they're nice socks, but they're not going to do anything for me. So he does a brain map with the socks off.
If you're a woman.
And
you
then
also
with the socks
and you
on.
need a virtual assistant.
I
Not just any
need to get YouTube Plus. Okay, so what he's going to show you is specifically his limbic system. And green is what we're looking for. And he's going to put his feet on the insoles. So there's socks, there's insoles. He's going to put his feet on the technology.
My limbic system only, and then I'm going to step on the insoles. And
Can you
watch
hear
what
it?
happens to the limbic system, which
Okay.
controls your emotions and how you feel. Okay. This is my limbic system. Now my feet just got placed on the insoles, and we want it all green.
That's how fast it works. He did that. And hang on, let me get rid of exiting full screen. He did that and he thought he did something wrong. He was very confused and did it a second time because he thought he'd done something wrong. There was a 36% change in his brain. So he called the company and said, "All right, I got to tell this guy, this CEO, I have to tell him what it is that he's got because I don't think he does." So in longitudinal studies, we've shown an average of 36. He actually had higher than that. All of you, I love you, but you're all in my way. I can't see my thing. There we go. Neurofeedback, which Dr. DeBrincat was used to using, is known to show a 3 to 5% increase with months and months of training. So you can understand why he was so excited. So quickly, these are symptoms of fibromyalgia. I want you to take a look, and you don't have to tell me, who has what, but see out of the 6, 8, 18, how many you have?
$17 out of the 18.
Wow. Cindy?
I think I got the same. I don't really have trouble sleeping anymore because I take a sleep aid and stuff. But before I used to have really bad insomnia. But most of these I do have. So yep.
So you're classic.
There you go.
Janet, how about you? 10. Nice. The other two don't want to talk to you so much right now. It'll be interesting to compare what this technology can do for all of those. So let's find out where my cursor's gone. Here we go. So keeping things simple, and I said this the other day when we were chatting, think Braille. You're all at an age where if I say Braille, you'll know what I'm talking about. Young kids now don't, because people don't tend to use it very much. But Braille is a series of small bumps that you consciously pick up with your fingers and then decode that consciously. What happens here with the patches and the socks is that the pattern is so small that you can't really feel it consciously, but that your skin picks up the pattern and sends a message through the central nervous system to your brainstem. It will then affect the parts of the body that it needs to. So here we go. It triggers a response when those neuroreceptors come into contact with the pattern, whether it's in the socks or the patches or the knee brace, goes through your central nervous system, and then you feel the difference. Now the effect is immediate, and as you could see, there are instant improvements in balance and flexibility and strength. The pain management doesn't necessarily happen instantly. The frustration that we have is that the brain sometimes has a different priority as to how it wants to handle things than we do, which can be very frustrating. So there's 6 different patterns. This HPT is the all-encompassing. It's like the janitor's key to a school. It will open up all the rooms. That brainstem works to do so many things. I can tell you about the balance, strength, flexibility, and pain management, but it really does everything. And if your brain says, well, there's this that needs to be dealt with before we can deal with the pain, then that's what will happen, unfortunately. So I always recommend that you start with HPT. Those are the patches that I sent you. So the Harmony patches that I sent you, that was HPT. CBT is cognitive boost technology. And that, oh, hang on. This is where Beth needed to remember to take off my, if I take off my background. Otherwise, when I try to show you something, with background on, it will disappear. Now you get to see all my sticky notes behind me. Some of them have your names on them because what I do is I put them up so that I can see when I sent things. So this is the cognitive boost technology. It's embedded in a sleeve and it targets the executive function areas, enhancing clarity, focus, memory, lowering anxiety, and stress. Then you have Neo. Sounds like the Neo drops you put in the water. That's neuroplastic immune optimization, and that targets the communication among all of the systems that are involved in the immune function, resulting in better blood flow and optimized immune function. This is my savior when it comes to allergies, because I don't like allergies, and when I wear it, I don't have any issues. REM, this would have been for Cindy a long time ago, optimized sleep technology. It targets the sleep centers and balances your REM and your deep sleep. Your REM and your deep sleep is when you're healing. One part is when your body is healing, the other is when your brain is healing. So that's why sleep is so important. And that's why babies sleep a lot, because they're growing. It's why people are put into medically induced comas, because their body just needs that rest. Meta is advanced metabolism. So this raises your metabolic rate without raising your heart rate. Great for weight loss, actually. Elevated mind technology targets the emotion regulation areas, okay, raising feelings of joy and optimism. Great to lift your mood, whether for whatever. I mean, the thing is that we all have different reasons for having moods, but the body reacts physiologically. So it can lift you up, whether it's because you're grieving, whether it's because you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I spoke to a fellow associate the other day, and I said, "How are you?" She says, "I'm wearing 2 different socks to optimize both pieces," right? She was wearing an HPT sock and a Boomy sock. Those come, the Boomy ones are kind of fun. They come in 2 different heights, and I'll tell you more about those in a minute. So this is with the human performance technology. I have to keep moving you guys around. 17% velocity of force. This is from testing that was done at the California Sports Center. 22% more power with the socks on. 31% better balance. The 1,000 participants, this was foot pain relief. There were actually 2 studies done. One was with diabetic neuropathy. The other one was with plantar fasciitis. 980 experienced pain relief. You had to have a level 4 or above to be in the study. 980 people took it to 2 or below. More eccentric force, greater range of motion. That was the extra little bit of twist, right? So like I said, this is the janitor's key, or like a Swiss Army knife. It does everything because it targets the brain stem that does so much. I've lost my cursor again. Cognitive boost technology. These are actual images with the sleeve. So here's the baseline. Here was before the eSmarter. You want it to be gray, and after the eSmarter. This one takes about 15 to 20 minutes to work, and the cortex measures how well you process information. Okay. Your anxiety network, I don't know that I need to explain that one, controls your ability to regulate that anxiousness, right? So here you've got all kinds of lines, and here they've all settled down with a 41% on average overall change in brain function when wearing this. So you can understand why, as an undiagnosed ADHD person, this is one of the first things I put on in the morning. Here's another one, executive function. Remember in our list of symptoms, executive function, working memory, mental flexibility, self-control, all of those come in there. Now this one's not perfect, but it's way better. The cognitive boost technology is from a company that is part of the umbrella that is eSmarter Sleeve. And here is what it says. This side here that says who should wear could go on forever. Students studying and writing exams, they don't have to be studying and writing exams. Students, period. How anxious are our students right now? I have an associate that is a pilot who loves his. Athletes for focus, absolutely. It was initially designed for the creator's son and daughter's friends. They went to him and they said, "Dad, we're part of a drug-free neurotech company. And our friends are taking Adderall. One was in law school, the other one was in med school. And our friends are taking all of these drugs in order to help them focus. And we all want to play our computer games. Can't you come up with something?" So we did. So there's your enhanced concentration and memory and increased stamina. Okay, heightened decision making and a sense of clarity and calm. Great for when you're driving on that highway, especially if driving makes you anxious. I have a friend that says that when she's wearing her sleeve, she's a nicer person to be around. She likes people more. Better time management, task accomplishment, reduces procrastination. Oh, stop that. Okay, handle changes and challenges better. There is a thing in the brain called the amygdala. And when the amygdala goes off, it's that fight or flight, right? It's that, ah! This calms that. We had a lady present to us in a summit, and she's talking all about the sleeve and how it helps with this, that, and the other thing. And she finished her presentation, and a little later in the day, her daughter had an episode and they just couldn't get her to calm down. And then all of a sudden, she thinks, right, put the sleeve on her, and settled her right down. Okay, I need my mouse thing to be, there we go. This is my little pink patch. This is the one that I wear all the time. They're 48-hour patch. This is your immune optimization. So the way that they've shown on this one is double. So this is your QEEG brain mapping again. And this is live blood cell analysis. Look at the difference in the QEEG. So 1 hour and 12 hours. In this case, we are exposed to so many different frequencies that what happens is that our red blood cells clump together, and that's called rouleau. So if you look at the first picture that says pre-neurovax, it looks really all clumped together. Excuse me. The second one is 1 hour post-neurovax. It's starting to look better. And the third one is 12 hours after the neurovax. So what does that mean for your body though? What it means is that those white blood cells whose job it is to go and clean up can get in, whoops. Okay, just remember that picture. Can get in and amongst those red blood cells more easily to do their cleanup job. The other thing is that there are capillaries in your body that are only big enough for one cell to go through at a time. So now, when they're clumped up, they can't get through. If they're individual, they can. So that brings more oxygen to those parts of your body. Okay. I have friends who say that their asthma is better when they wear Neurovax. I have friends who say their blood pressure is better. For me, it's my allergies. I have low blood pressure to begin with. Here's your REM patch. The REM is sleep. So here's before, and it's saying that they were awake 2.5 hours roughly. Okay, I have my glasses on and I still can't read these very well. Okay, if we look at even just looking at the images don't look very different other than the deep sleep. Look at the difference in deep sleep, just even from an image. And then of course, we've explained it here. So the awake decreased by 19 minutes, the REM increased by 15, the deep increased by 1 hour and 43. I don't tend to wear this every night because I don't have many problems sleeping. When I do, I will pop. I'm awake before the alarm, ready to go. But it's not one that I use all the time. So this is your resting metabolic rate with the meta patch. And because these images are so difficult to read, I went and put things on top of them so that you can tell what it says. This is the same person before and after the meta patch. So here is your resting metabolic rate, 2226, went to 2598. Okay, and this is in similar to others of your same height and weight. And now this is therefore faster. Just by wearing that patch. That's a big one. That's a big one. They're supposed to be making us smaller ones. They're coming. Elevated Mind technology. This is a cool new product. These were introduced last spring. And they're made from reclaimed plastic water bottles. So each pair is on average 3 water bottles. So you level up your impact by wearing something. And honestly, I still have trouble getting my head wrapped around the fact that they're made from plastic water bottles. They are my stepdaughter's favorite socks, which I'm happy about because it means she's happier to live with. They are super comfy. They've got cushioning in all kinds of different places. They've got this cool thing on the back. So they come in this height and then they come in a crew height. She loves them. And of course, we plant a tree for every pair that we sell. Okay. That's Elevated Mind. That should be the end of the 6 different ones. So Dr. Thatcher did a study using EEG, which tends to be the more medical model. The QEEG tends to be just a step outside of the mainstream medical. So Dr. Thatcher, very well-known neurology, says that HPT is a revolution in neuroscience. We need to revisit the textbooks to include this remarkable breakthrough. When Jay was first trying to get the medical people to take a look at this, they would say to him, go away. The brain doesn't work this way. But we've proven that the brain does work this way. So here's just a couple of comments from medical doctors. And the last one, of course, is a chiropractor. When I first experienced Vox socks, I was amazed at how much they immediately improved my EEG brainwave pattern and how much better energy and mental clarity I felt while wearing them. Then I saw similar results on my colleagues. Just like meditation is for the psycho and spiritual wellness. Did they read that twice? I thought, just like meditation is for the psycho, pausing in the right place makes all the difference. And spiritual wellness, the Vox socks provide a small space of silence for listening with your body to reconnect with original math. And then the neuromodulation from the Voxxlife products increases energy, helps improve balance, strength, and improves cognitive function. When you see your brain light up on a QEEG, it's hard to be skeptical. And it really is cool to have that done. So we go to socks on the dog. Why socks on a dog? And who would wear socks on a dog? Socks on the Dog is the name of my company that my little corner of Voxxlife. And it all started because of this incredible woman in a chair. These pictures were taken on her 100th birthday. I gave her those socks for her birthday, and she would wash them out every night and put them on every morning. She was afraid of falling. She'd watched enough of her friends fall and break a hip and die. And I miss her. We lost her last year, a week before her 104th birthday. She had a heart attack at 102. And then she wasn't walking around so much. And somebody else was doing her laundry. So she went from having 2 pairs of socks, one that was Christmas. She kept telling me, I'm not going to live that long. I'm happy washing it my socks. I don't need more socks. But when somebody else took over the laundry, she got more socks. My uncle called and said, how about we get her more socks? So what started as a gift for her has allowed me to gift so many of others. Oh, wow. Out of the blue, there was some insurance policy that my two brothers and I, actually that my two brothers and my two cousins and I ended up sharing. It ended up to be about $300. And it arrived and I said to my brother, I said, well, I feel like I should invest it somehow. And that's exactly what I've done is I've invested it in being able to send samples and share with my customers and my friends. And that just hit me that that's exactly, I didn't do it intentionally that way, but that's exactly what's happening. So where can you find the patterns? So the HPT products are insoles, socks, there are knee braces, there is shapewear, and patches. The eSmarter are in sleeves. So this is a fun pattern. There are DC comic sleeves. So Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, none of the Marvel characters, but the DC guys are there. REM is in patches. Neurovax is patches, and Meta is also patches. And the Boomies, like I said, are socks. I need to redo this so that I include the Boomies in there. Somebody else did such a nice job, though. I hated to. I love playing in Canva, but it doesn't always have to be everything. So what I want to do now, because you received the patches, they've got, you have all my contact information. These are just some questions that people frequently have. They are chemical-free, non-invasive, meaning you don't have to plug them in. There's no electricity, there's no magnets, there's no metals. 30-day money-back guarantee. If for some reason they don't fit or they don't do what it is that you want, I ask, I can't insist, I can't walk and stand over top of you with a stick and say, you must wear these. But I do ask that you wear them 24/7 for a good 20, 21, 22 days, and then go a couple of days without, because sometimes it isn't what you notice when you have them on, it's what you notice the lack of when you take them off. Okay. And they're like your glasses. Cheryl, I can't see if you've got glasses on or not, but nope, you don't. But the three of us that have glasses, these things only work when they're on our faces. When they're on the table, they don't work very well. Okay. These are your price points, run 40 to 55. Insoles are 45-60. The knee braces are 80. The patches are 90 for a 30-day supply. And the sleeves, those are the Canadian prices. I can get you the US prices. I did that for that. We ship to Canada, the US, and the UK. You are all in the US, so you would be getting yours from a distribution center in Texas. The socks are made in China and Italy. It's the only places where we could find equipment to knit the socks consistently with the correct pattern. They tried in the US and it just wasn't consistent. Fiber content, very often there are people with allergies. So the fiber content ranges from nylon, polyester, cotton, viscose. There's some wool in some other ones. And then, like I said, socks, insoles, patches, knee braces, and shapewear. Do you have any questions before I jump? The other thing I wanted to share with you was some stories. We have a testimonials group. Whoops, somebody's playing games with me. Testimonials group of over 54,000 people. And it is searchable. I am happy to add you to the group if you'd like to spend some time doing some reading. But what I thought we would do is I will show you once I can get to the search button. Cindy, you're in the group, are you not?
You know what? I don't think I am actually. That's why I wrote it down.
Well, then let's fix that because you're already my Facebook friend, so we can do this. So
Yes,
we're going to
please.
invite. We're going to search for Cindy and see what happens. You are not Cindy Abercrombie. Yeah,
Oh,
you
wait,
are already
yeah.
a member. Look at that.
Oh, wow. I guess I haven't paid attention to all my groups. Sorry.
You know what? I'm in so many groups. I understand it. It's a challenge to have so many groups and be in so many different places. So Cindy can do this, and the other two of you are welcome to join me. All you have to do is send me a friend request and I'll pop you in, or I can send you the link. So we wanted to type in here, fibromyalgia. This one is awesome. I love this. It changed this gentleman's life so much. Okay. Hang on here.
Hi, I'm Graham. I've been wearing the Neurotech for just over 6 months now. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I have what they call a left-sided functional hemiparesis, which basically gives me a weakness on the left side of my body. It means that I for everything from my smile to the weakness. I have weakness in my left arm, leg. I struggle with my bishop speech, and I rely completely on walking to when out and about. Actually, don't walk very far until I'm in a wheelchair. I've been actually wearing the technology for over 6 months, but I decided to try an experiment last night, not wear my tech to bed. I also have fibromyalgia, and so I have a lot of pain related to that and fatigue. This morning I've woken up. I'm quite excited by the fact that when I smile, my weakness is back on my left side. Just because I've kind of taken this technology method, so I just wanted to document this now because I just wanted to get this on video. So
We have to direct our videographers, right?
climbing the stairs, I've got this swim on my tech for a long time. So just try this. Scary. My thoughts on I really got breath from that, but I work with I twitch your hands and my face. So I've literally just put the socks back on now. Gotta get my breath back. I can feel my smile come back already actually. Yeah, my face is amazing. So now I'll show you the difference. I'll walk again. Every time I wear it, it just it's amazing. My speech is clear. Think straight. Yes, that's a very small snippet of my life for an tech, and I'd forgotten then the dramatic difference of how it was. But yeah, everything from doing bottoms up to cutting meat, it's just been a nightmare. But yeah, now the tech.
there are lots of different testimonials about. So this one is fibro and migraines, right? Can do this one. One of the things that it talked about with fibro is that essentially it's your pain receptors in hyperdrive, right? And what this does is that settles it. I have a friend, Irene, who, and we can probably find a video of her on here as well. Irene was in a significant car accident, and she shook. She was a hairdresser, so she couldn't work now, but she shook, and the doctor said there wasn't anything else that they could do for her. And she's found all kinds of things that didn't work. And a friend of hers gave her the socks, and she laughed and said, yeah, right, socks are going to work. She put them in the drawer, and for some reason, one day she put them on and called her friend in hysterics and said, her friend said, what's wrong? What's wrong? She says, I have your stupid socks on and I'm not shaking. And it's literally has changed her life. And she, I need to check in with her because she's also Russian. And so I have a feeling that there may be some flack back on that. So here we go. Within 2 hours of putting the socks on, her lower back and hips were eased dramatically. Okay. And then she was able to go up. I mean, you could see that with Nikki's the wife, with Mr. Cheatham. Sleeping. I sleep better with my socks on. I sleep with socks on, but I sleep better with socks on. I had some of that restless leg syndrome before, and I started wearing my socks to sleep, and I can just, it's settled. Now, some people do better with patches, some people do better with socks, some people do better with insoles. I have a friend with Ehlers-Danlos, and she finds she has better results with the insoles than she does with the socks. But that means then that she's not wearing them to sleep in. So any questions?
I do. So
Okay.
it's the pattern in the socks that causes this reaction.
Yeah.
In people.
Yeah.
So depending on what the type of socks you get, is the socks only for the HPT?
So there's two different kinds of socks. There's the HPT socks, and there's like a gazillion and 12 different sizes, shapes, colors of those. And then there's the boomy socks. So the boomy ones are the ones that are made out of plastic, and they are for in motion, and they have a green pattern on them. The others have all kinds of different patterns depending on the color of the sock, but the others are the HPT, which is your pain and your balance. So they're exactly the same pattern as what was in the patches that I sent. But I don't have enough socks and enough of a budget to send everybody free socks. So I sent you patches instead. But it's the pattern. That's the magic. It's all in the pattern. And I mean, we've got, these are black wellness socks. These are wool socks. This is my favorite pattern. These are the socks in a medium that I had on when I got hit by the dog and I broke my leg. And the EMT said to me, he cut my shoelaces and took my shoe off, and he looked at me and he kind of looked funny at the socks, and he says, can I cut this sock off? And I looked at him, I said, hell no. Don't you dare. Take it off gently. And he did. He took it off gently. And then I had to explain why I was telling him not to cut my sock. If it had been a knee high or anything, any of the compressive ones, we probably, he probably would have had to. But I also know that I can't get this pattern in a medium anymore because they're sold out. So I didn't want to be where I was wearing, one black and one blue sock. This is what the knee brace looks like. Oh, these are fun. This is an ankle sock. How cool is that color? Those, if you want that color or the bright green or the, no, you should still be able to get red. There's something going on with the US and supply chain because we've got them in Canada now, but somehow they haven't made it to the US warehouse. So I have them, but you can't get them yet. So this is the knee brace. And there is the pattern on the inside at the top and the bottom in the knee brace. One of my husband's employees needs to have knee surgery. And of course, with COVID, they just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. He needs a replacement. He's bone on bone. And Danny loaned him permanently his knee brace. And didn't I get a call the next week for a second one so that he can, and he sleeps with them on because then he wakes up and things are working better. He also works in Greece and they're marine mechanics. So he doesn't tend to wear them as much at work because he doesn't want to get it all dirty.
Beth, what is the material? Like, are they made out of cotton or polyester, the socks, or?
Depends on the sock. For example, the athletic socks have more nylon. So these are the ones that come in the different heights. They come in a no-show just below the ankle, a mini crew just above, a crew, and a knee high. And so these are 62% nylon, 33 polyester, 5% spandex. The wellness, which come in nicer colors than just, let's find a nice one. I mean, black is just boring. But they come in all kinds of different patterns. So these are different kinds of wellness. And these are cotton, polyester, tiny bit of spandex and nylon in the cuff. The wellness are diabetic approved. So they have an inverse toe line. They're not as tight. They're great for swelling. My Voxxterra, my blue stripe ones have got some wool in them, which is why I was wearing them because it was cold outside. They're 35 wool, 35 acrylic, 26 polyester, and 4% spandex. I'm sure the spandex is the elastic, right? That's in the cuff. The boomies are plastic bottles, which means they are polyester, essentially. 97% polyester, 3% spandex. So there you go. Polyester is plastic. You just have to know where it comes from. Oh, right. So the drishtis. So this one is a men's sock. This one is cotton, 60 cotton, 37 nylon, 3 spandex. But these are the high fashion ones that are made in Italy. This one has a little bit of wool as well as the cotton. And then let me show you the cute women's ones. Bob's not here to look at the men's ones anyway, unless Janet's doing Christmas and birthday shopping. So then there's these are viscose and nylon. And there's like a peachy and a purple. There's those other ones that are purple. There they are. Aren't those fun? Okay. I'm getting yelled at from downstairs in French. I love these. These are really cute. They're kind of a pink gingham. But then, oh, there's the pattern. They all have the pattern. And those are the same, even though they're high fashion, they're the same price as your boring black. Some people like boring black. I don't know that boring is a word that could be used to describe me. I don't think so. And then there's these that are called iconics. And they are fun. Come here. Out of the package. It's way easier to see you out of the package. So unfortunately, these are only available in large and extra large right now. But they say like wham and pow and boom. They're comics. I had one customer last Christmas who bought these for everyone in her family. And she said to them, you cannot, when you wear these socks, this was before the boomies even existed. She says, when you wear these socks, you can't be in a bad mood because when you look down, you have to giggle. So those are some fun patterns. So there we go. Any other questions? Any?
All right, when you put the patch on, how long can it be left on?
It needs to go on clean, dry skin. Okay, so what Cindy found was that it didn't last on her arm. Sometimes that's due to perspiration. She was working out too much, maybe. I don't know.
Put it on wrong, to be honest.
But,
I don't know.
well, it could also be, she's told me that she uses a fair amount of pain cream. So if there's any residue of lotion or cream, it won't stay. It won't stick.
Okay.
But it lasts for 48 hours, to answer your original question. Each of the patches are 48 hours except for the sleep ones. And the sleep ones are, you put them on half an hour before you go to bed, and then you take them off first thing in the morning. And that's
You don't have to worry about, like, if you take a shower, it'll still stay on and stuff.
Yeah, right, unless you're using a loofah and you scrub it.
Right. Right. Okay.
But
So you
otherwise,
don't
it should stay on. Yeah. I
Yeah,
wore mine.
okay.
I wore mine in the swimming pool. So, okie dokie. All righty. What else was I going to share with you? There was something else that was not necessarily tech related. I did send the Cindy sent it on the image and the description for the patches that I did send you. If you're watching the replay and you were not lucky enough to get patches because you weren't on two weeks ago, then reach out to me and I'll see what I can do for you. But I'm interested to see how you do with them. That's all I ask, is that you fill me in and let me know what happens, right? I've had people say, oh, can I pay you for them? Well, no, I'm getting them at a discounted rate so that I can share them as marketing patches. But I do want to know, are they still at the bottom of your purse 6 weeks later? Or did you put it on and it, what happened? A friend of mine ended up with a sleeve for his mom, and he thinks she's on the beginnings of Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And he's a very skeptical man. Like he's a trainer. Speaking of which, we need to get on Evan again. And he'd been helping me with my recovery. I tried to reach out to all of my physical education people. And he got the sleeve for his mom. She ended up with COVID and 2 weeks in the hospital. And so when she got home, it would take a good 2 or 3 hours for her to be with it and eating breakfast. And they started using the sleeve and it's within 15, 20 minutes. So he actually posted on LinkedIn and said, I think this is the first testimonial Tuesday that I've ever endorsed a product, ever. And it was a sleeve. So I love changing lives. And when you layer the technologies on top of each other, you'll see even greater benefits. So on a daily basis, I have insoles in my shoes, I have socks on my feet, I have a sleeve, and I have a pink patch. Pretty much every day.
I had another question, Beth. I know you said to put the patch on your forearm. Can you put it like anywhere else but your arm, like your leg or your neck or feet or anything, or just the arm?
That is a brilliant question, because here's the thing about your brain. Once your brain knows that pattern, it can go anywhere. So the first one that you wear for your 48 hours needs to go on that activation site on the inside of your forearm. Okay. So it's going to go, I have my sleeve on, so it doesn't work that, but it's going to go here, which is okay. So here's the bend in the arm.
Oh,
there.
I put it on wrong. That's what happened. I put it like way up there. That's why it didn't work.
Well, and yeah, if it's, I found I was at a cycling race and I put it on a bunch of the cyclists, and unfortunately it was a hot summer day and they're on bikes like this, and it, right, and all of that movement made it a challenge, so that they all didn't last 48 hours either, because they were just in that movement piece. So that's why it is there. Hopefully it's not an area that will move too much. When it comes to the other patches, so the sleep patch, I like to put right between my shoulder blades at the back of my neck, because it could go here. I just don't put it there because this is where this one is. And I will warn you that if you forget to take it off and you put another one on top of the first one, it doesn't work so well.
Oh.
I went to take it off one way. Oh, there's two stuck together. Oops. So, yeah, so that's that placement. The placement will, all of the instructions will come on the packaging. And that was why I had so much fun creating those little packages for you, because I got to create labels. I love working in Canva, and so I got to create the labels and the little bags so that, you know, you had all of the instructions. Previously, I would send the same brochure and I would just tuck in the patch and write on the back of it what it was, which makes it a little tricky when you don't know where to put it. So this is where I wear my Neurovax patch, is right here on my upper arm. It can also go here. Okay, just on the inside of your chest wall. Okay. And you can do that with the Meta patch as well. And remember that everything has a 30-day money-back guarantee, even the patches. The patches is a little bit different because they're one-time use. So you wouldn't get back the full amount, but you would get back a prorated amount of whatever patches you have left. And I think you have to send them into the company, and that's the way the patches work. But I have just had so much fun changing lives and reading stories. And I will warn you, with 54,000 people in that group, you're not going to want to have the notifications on. And I will warn you that once you get started reading those, you might need to set a timer or all the other things on your list are not going to get done.
Thank you, Beth. That was an interesting presentation. What did you guys think?
Nice. Can I ask a question, personal question?
Absolutely.
When do you go to Florida?
Well, Do we need to keep this part recorded? Maybe we'll stop this.
I think
I
so.
We'll stop the recording. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And if you want to know going to Florida, you're just going to have to ask me. And please feel free to reach out and ask any questions. I am going to put my contact information in the chat. This gives you a little video and my calendar and my phone number and everything except my shoe size, I think. Whoops, I forgot a W. Not the name of my firstborn either. So that's in the chat for anybody that needs to reach out. And I will send you the link to the recording.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So we're going to hang out and talk for a little bit, and the rest of you can catch us on the replay.
Thank you.